No, see, I said I want Spider-Man underwear.
I have Spider-Man underwear.
I want Dean Cuddy's Spider-Man underwear.
This is a plea. All he's saying, if you have the options between bit drops or Spider-Man underwear,
maybe the next bit drop I will spend on
PTO
Spider-Man underwear. Maybe I will. Who knows? Anyway, so I'm imagining after that you after long travels you buy a room and you just take the night. Maybe you do a couple more things in the town, like but it's actually quite late, so you probably just buy a room and take the night, which would be, I think, 5 silver for a room as well in this, because especially you'd have to go. You probably wouldn't buy a room in this little restaurant. They probably don't have one. It's 8 silver a pop. You can buy cheaper rooms though if you don't want, or you can double up.
I don't know if I can afford that.
I'll get it.
I just so happen to have
can.
8 silver, so I'll pay for mine.
I can now. Don't worry, Dean. I don't need your hand-me-outs.
I already owe you money.
Who, me?
No, not you.
Oh, good. I was like, I don't know what for.
Awesome. So you, after all that, you eaten well, you sleep well, you wake up the next day in hillside tops, and it's a lovely snowy day. And when you're in a town like this, the snow doesn't feel as imposing. You know, it's like it's kind of nice to be here in the snow. You're heading off quite soon. Neil, you said there was one thing you really quickly wanted to do while you're here in the trade town.
Yeah, so I wanted to visit a tailor and see whether they could make some alterations to my armor.
Easy enough to find a tailor. What do you need done?
Right, so various containers mostly.
Oh, you want pouches?
No. So I want some arm scroll holders.
Yes.
A bandolier for vials. A belt with hooks for various satchels, things like ball bearings, whatnot, that sort of thing. A sheath for a dagger in a boot.
The boot dagger is like a specific thing.
So I don't have a boot dagger at the moment, no.
Wait, a boot dagger or a dagger in a boot sheath?
A dagger in a boot sheath.
Yeah.
Because there's like 2
a dagger in a boot sheath. Yeah, if you were trying to go for the dagger you can deploy from your boot, that would be an actual a longer process, probably involving the Thieves Guild. Or
either way,
someone
not a blade coming out the toe.
No, just a place to store a dagger. Yeah, that would be no problem.
Again, either way, you're wearing platform shoes. How do you feel about?
Kinda already wears heeled boots, so
it stops the cold from getting through so much.
Yeah,
it's designed for cold weather, you see. So.
Anything else?
I blame you, Scott. No, I think that's it.
I'll say for all of this, you basically give them your armor for the morning, and it's going to cost 2 gold for everything, because it's not like you're buying you're buying basically stuff that you can use later on.
Yeah.
And it's all the individual things are quite not that small. It's like, oh, well, we have hooks we can attach, we can add, like, it would be the morning and 2 gold.
And if he could just like repair those bolt holes.
Yeah, he would also repair things to the best of his ability. I'll straight up say, like, it's like, you probably don't go to the first tailor refined, you go to one that's a little quieter. It's not like it's restored to original Salni Defixis quality. But it is, it's patched up. It's the sort of thing where, at a glance, you're like, oh, it's been patched up. But it's not, at a glance, oh, it's damaged.
Yeah.
And all those upgrades you ask for are done. When you want that sort of scroll casing thing where, like, you do need to explain it more to him, but the tailor will take care of that for the morning. Is there anything else? You've got a morning of time. Is there anything anyone wants to do here, or do you just sort of take in the local environment, maybe window shop a bit, but not really do anything?
No, I don't think I do. I'm good.
Cool.
I love how I ask the party, does anybody have mending? And they're like, I have shatter and infestation.
So we can destroy Vale's armor or put spiders in Vale's armor.
We'll give you light, so you know. Can't help me out, buddy.
So that's something you do in the morning, I imagine, because you have nothing you really intend to do. You just sort of hang around and window shop because, like, oh, you know, why not? We can't leave yet. And then Vale, your armor is returned to you with all these things adjusted, and you head on north to Northenden. Great. So heading Northenden is not so much of a trouble. The roads are very well maintained. You do go through the occasional town, but far less so than in Goldport. Like, it's a lot of it's a sparser colonized area. There is a lot less verdant farmland. I mean, it's winter, so you're going through frozen, not wasteland, it's just no one's going to do anything with this land. It's super cold, and it gets slightly rockier and rockier and rockier until after another week of travel, so more and less, you've been traveling for about 3 weeks, you end up at Northenden. Via the road that you enter, you probably want to go in via Little Drakenbrow, which is how you entered the city last time you were there, which is... you know, Northenden is a walled-off city. Little Drakenbrow is a sort of community off to the side. It's part of the city. It's just, you know, the city walls are old. This is a new extension, mostly made of wood, to deal with the Dragonborn refugees. So I imagine that's where you go.
Ollie, considering this is my personal first time traveling through this region of Jarviskjir, could you just like spend an extra moment explaining that like wastelandish kind of area that we went through? I know it's really cold,
yeah,
but
so basically, you're traveling in like the worst part of winter. So the terrain of this area is similar to Goldport in that it is in a natural state mostly sort of plains. You know, in some areas you'll have a little more forest, in some areas you won't. The road is sort of taking the easiest path of least resistance. But here you have a lot more, like, the road goes between a little ravine and a lot more rocky areas. Less than, you know, you don't know what it could possibly be like in the summer. But it's a lot more of a wilder land, you know. In the Goldport Kingdom, like, people would be like, there would be towns and there'd be less snow because people are shoveling the snow, and there would be more activity. You know, here you're a lot more at one with nature, but also the roads, you know, are better maintained. There's better wordings. You know, you cross a bridge or two, and they're high quality. You know, and you do occasionally pass other travelers. It's not as common as before. But you would mostly be traveling like merchants in caravans who are going much faster than you would be the people who would pass you. And approaching Northenden, you know, there is the mountain that Northenden sort of sits resting up against, and Northenden is this, at first glance, you would see it as a dwarven, walled-off city. With, again, satellite towns all around. One of such, the one that you're entering through, is Little Drakenbrow, which is a city, which is a district being constructed mostly out of wood for ease and speed of construction. And as you're entering it, there's guard presence at the sort of outer side, but because it's constantly being extended outwards, there's not really a guard post. But you would pass like watchtowers on the way in. You go through this main street through Little Drakenbrow, and there's buildings being constructed, but a good deal of them are built now. But it's not full of beggars. It's full of homeless Dragonborn who are trying to sell their services. Because Dragonborn are very proud and mighty people, or at least the Drakenbrow Dragonborn. They don't want to beg. They are trying to sell, I'll show you around a town. I will shine your armor. I'll polish your sword. That sort of thing.
Polish.
Yeah, I know.
Never mind. So you describe the place as being somewhat is it predominantly dwarven or just dwarven?
Northenden as a whole, not the area you're in now. Northenden as a whole is a so actually probably Gil and actually Vale's the one who knows most about Northenden, would actually be explaining to you as you go in, I imagine, just because you chat and you extend knowledge and stuff, and it would come up as you get closer, like, you've been in this place, what's it like? Hey, I'm Haven. Hey, yo, I'm Haven here.
Or Gil. He's never been to Northenden before. Gil, I'm sure, is curious.
Gil and Melody
has he? Oh,
you went there during season 2.
Fuck off.
But it is a city that is known as the Free City and has one of areas for each races. It has big districts, but the city started as humans and dwarves working together to build a place where they can both belong. And now it's like most like the higher populations are humans and dwarves. Each district is for each race. There's a lot of Dragonborn now because they are displaced. They are refugees who have stayed here. And there's an Elven district, a Tiefling district, gnomes, halflings, that sort of thing. But, you would see it as, as you go into the city, every district is different. When you go through Little Drakenbrow, it's Dwarven architecture. It's Dwarven architecture for humans, more or less.
You should have seen the Dwarven district during the Civil War, Scott. You'd have loved it.
It was messy. But yeah, you enter through Northwards through Little Drakenbrow. You head further into the city because you have to prepare to go north. And this is something where, as a party, you have a choice. And you've already looked at these choices and looked at your maps, and maybe you're talking this before you even get to the city. You have two sort of ways you can go to head to Bastillion. You can either sort of go over the mountain, or you can go through the Forest of Frigid Mists. The Forest of Frigid Mists is a road. Like, as you're entering through where you're going, like, there's a road that heads down into a mountain pass. You can see this vast forest through. You see that as you go there. You'd also see the mountain. It's tall and imposing and snowy.
It's a mountain.
It's a mountain. It's a mountain. So really, it's whether you want to go over or around. And in character, you don't know anything about the options, either than those are your two options, really. Right. Neil is like, I know what both things are. And actually, as a party, some of you have climbed up that mountain before, and you got to a situation where you have climbed up and around. So, you know it's possible.
I would imagine if we're talking like in character, Haven would be leaning towards going up the mountain, assuming that if he climbs high enough, he might be able to actually reach those lights that he thinks might fall on his head.
Yeah.
But of course, it's a party vote sort of a thing.
Having already been up the mountain, I think, or at least part of the mountain, I think Gil'win would probably want to be safe than sorry.
Melody likes the idea of forests.
So 2 votes forest, 1 vote for mountain.
Neil.
2 votes forest. Are we playing it safe? I wasn't sure what playing it safe meant. Is that?
Oh, sorry, mountain.
Oh, you want mountain? 2 mountain, 1
2 votes
forest.
mountain, 1 forest.
Okay.
Because what I mean by playing it safe is I kind of
You
know
know
the
better. You know the mountain.
Yes.
That's sort of why I reminded you.
Out of game, I like the idea of going through the forest. In game, though, my character would just be like, "Oh, what's up this mountain?" So I'm gonna go with the in-game vote.
Well, I don't know a huge amount about the forest or the mountain particularly. I know there is a path round towards Gemtuda, but I would also say the last time we were up there, it was not winter, and now it is, and it will be harder going, and I am covered in Yeti fur, so that is fine, but there is a fair chance we will meet more Yetis or other such predators who love the snow, and I say, Yetis are quite difficult to spot in the snow, especially if it is snowing heavily.
You're brilliant. You are a smart man, Vale. We will find these Yetis and we will kill them. And then we will also take their skin and wear it so that we can also stay warm.
I mean, that is legitimately not a bad idea, Haven. And actually, their meat would probably be very important, as I do not know whether we could carry it.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe we have eaten Yeti. I think, did we cook some?
Melody nods like, yeah.
It was quite greasy. Very
Sally
nice.
didn't.
Yeah, I remember.
Sally didn't. Yeah, that was it.
Sandy's like, it kind of looks like a person from a certain point of view, so isn't this kind of weird? And you guys are like,
We're being goblin. Melody, the person who has literally fed dead human to her dog, so...
Look, that was
Besides,
after the Yeti.
How hard can it really be to make armor out of Yeti?
Well, it took us a lot of weeks. I'm thinking perhaps a cloak?
Sure, I'll just cut it off and wear it.
Exactly. Wear its furry side in, let the outside rot. It probably won't even rot in all the cold.
Smart man, Val.
Smart
man.
Yeah. And like these two are encouraging each other.
Vale, now you say that,
No, I think Haven has perhaps encouraged me a little bit.
really?
Yes, he makes a fair point that we will definitely need to hunt when we're up there. The pass, depending on whether we get stuck, could take us 4 weeks.
What, are there not animals in the frigid
And
mists?
hunt in forests, yes.
Well, I mean, yes, I suppose there are. But I mean, we were leaning towards the mountain pass. That was just one of my worries for it.
You just made a really good point with the fact that it's winter, and the last time we were up there, it wasn't the best anyway. I just kind of want to get to Bastilina in one piece, and whichever way is the safest, that's my vote.
If we go up the mountain, is there a chance we might bump into caves? Caves naturally form in mountains. We'd find caves here and there, right?
Yes,
And I know caves better than most people.
we went in a cave, in fact.
See, we would find caves. We'd spend nights in caves. If there are bears in caves, we eat the bears. We wear the bears. If there are kobolds in caves, we eat the kobolds. We wear the kobolds.
But
And if there are people in caves, we don't eat them or wear them. But maybe they have beer. And we drink that beer. Not the beer that we eat and wear. I'm confused.
Are we still in Little Drakenbrow?
That's up to you guys. Whether you I like the idea of you're having this conversation as you're walking through Little Drakenbrow.
Yeah. Perhaps we could ask one of these Dragonborn. They seem to be willing to offer assistance. Perhaps one has information about the Forest of Frozen Mists. From what I hear, they would have had to travel through it on the way from the ruins of Drakenbrow.
Sorry, Vale, I'll just stop you there. It's the frigid mists, I believe it's called.
My map says.
What did I call it? Frozen Mists.
Yes.
Oh, so it's not frozen, it's just very cold.
Yes, I think.
I see. Well, that changes nothing. Thank you, Gil. Should we ask a Dragonborn?
Yes, good idea.
Would it be racist to pick a white one because he's been through the Forest of Frozen Mists?
Yes. Let's do
Right.
it.
We'll look for a white Dragonborn.
Let's find the same one that we found last
Give
time. Who's a
me
white dragon?
Vale a. I was gonna say the one you've met before is a white dragonborn. You could try and
that's
look
true.
for him.
Any white Dragonborn. They're all the same.
You're the reasons why these people are refugees. Vale, give me a investigation roll with advantage.
Fun fact. Investigation. Oh boy.
Yeah, I guess I
fun
can't
fact,
make him.
My other character in Jarviskjir actually went to try and help the situation in Drakenbrow.
We killed.
Yeah, but
the-
this
we
character's
killed
racist.
And we did end up killing the thingy that destroyed Drakenbar.
My other character was racist as well. It was like one of the tenets of following his god. Is like hate
He was
drow,
only racist
hate
to orcs and drow. But to be fair, he did kind of sidle up against that line and sort of like ignore it a couple of times. You actually do like you look around for a ranger, a huntsman, you know, someone who would have gone through that sort of area, and you back up on yourselves a bit, like near the edge of where Little Drakenbrow is. You're more likely to find that kind of thing, and you find a guy who is a white dragonborn, as you suggested, who has a face just like a stone, emotionless face, and like, although reading a dragonborn's emotions might be a bit hard to you racists. And he's actually got the fur of a giant skunk as a cloak. Now you can't
He's
smell
definitely
it.
interested in that.
But it's a
Given the
very
bird, he
fluffy
has a
sort of
large wolf pelt on.
yeah, sort of stripy sort of thing. And he's actually right now at a sort of tree stump, and he's chopping firewood like with a small axe and going and easily cutting it. And he's got a bunch of arrows on his back and a bow and stuff like that. And he's like one of those things where as you sort of go up and like fails, like, oh, maybe this could be the guy.
Yeah.
And like you get everyone else. As you open your mouth to speak, he goes,
nudge.
yes.
Give.
Hello, sir. I have a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Unfortunately, questions cost coin.
Naturally.
The way of the world.
How much for 2 questions?
He sort of rests the axe on like a piece of firewood. 4 copper.
Okay, perfect. Hand over the 4 copper. Actually, I don't have copper on me, so I'll just give him a silver.
I always just assume you can translate money whenever, but you can give him a silver whenever you want.
Yeah, I'll give him a silver.
He tastes it and is like, all right, ask away.
How dangerous is the forest of frigid mists?
That really is the question, isn't it? Well, if you're heading out that way, if you keep to the road, it is the safest way to the north.
Oh.
If you don't keep to the road, you're dead.
Oh.
And the issue is, any hobgoblin who thinks himself a warlord, any bugbear, any ice beast, any troll, will realize that and they'll sit on the road.
Bugbear.
Troll.
No, yes.
Oh my.
Trolls are more and more common this year. Well, last year.
Okay. And so my second question is, would you suggest the Crimson Mountain is probably safer to travel?
Oh, no. Well, first of all, like that would be the Crimson Mountain. It'd be a different one. But I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
He kind of, like, looks at all of you and sort of exhales and, like, even, you know, everyone's breathing has that sort of mist at the moment because it's so cold. Like, it's just, He's like, from the look of you all, some of you are scrawny. I don't think you'd make it up that mountain. It might be okay. It might be. Well, you're not in the mating season of the Yetis, so that's good. Where are you going? I suppose it's time for me to ask you the question. No refunds.
We were heading towards Gemtuda, but we might take a different route if we were taking the forest of frigid mists. Ultimately, we're heading to Bastillion.
Dangerous. No roads to Bastillion. Probably a good
Fantastic.
thing. It keeps the demons away. But when you're out that far, you'll have to keep watch. The Remoraz, they see, it is their mating season. Here's a bit of advice. I'll give it to you for free. You gave me coin. More than I asked. You're probably a good man. The ice... Under the ice are the Remoraz. It doesn't matter where you are in the north. They are under the ice somewhere. If you make too much noise, they will smell you. They will hear you. They will eat you. And if you're lucky, you fight a baby. And a baby is about as tall as that watchtower there. If you're unlucky, you fight the daddy. I'm not close enough to point at the palace. But I would be pointing at the palace.
Right, okay.
I think I might need a bigger bow.
Haha. Now that is funny. If you get Remoraz are strange creatures. They are akin to the ice, but they have a fire inside their bodies. Fire would do little against them.
Whoa. Did you say what?
He like pauses and then just turns back to Vale
what?
and is like, "My best advice would be arrows of acid."
No. That name again.
Remoraz.
History or Arcana?
Nature.
Nature. I just need to see if I just need to know if I have to shit myself or not.
Nature. It sounds
Blissfully
scary.
ignorant.
Blissfully ignorant. You think he's telling a story? All right. Here's Haven's thought. You've been at tables where people are like, "I fought a beast this big."
Yeah.
He is exaggerating.
Yeah. Okay. Remorhaz. Okay. God.
But if you want to go through the forest, you're going to have to deal with trolls. Now, here's the thing that maybe people don't think. Trolls are smart. Probably smarter than your... He actually looks at Melody.
Melody, while they've been talking, Melody has circled round and is looking at his cloak, is like...
He's definitely one of those people
to-
who has noticed. If you reach out, he'd be like... And turn a bit to the side. I have an advice. If you're going through the path. Buy seeds. Trolls like seeds. These ones do anyway. The ones that are setting up in the forest. Now I couldn't, in the name of Oryx, tell you why, but they like
quite
seeds.
surprised. Who found that out? Who sees a troll and throws seeds at them?
A merchant who was carrying seeds, who was lucky enough to survive and tell the word. Yes.
Well, boy, I bet that has improved his seed sales.
You know, I haven't thought of it like that. I suppose a silver lining in every cloud.
Well, trolls or yetis and ice.
Oh, if you're going through the forest, you're still going to deal with the ice. Gemtada, you might have to deal with a little more rock on the way there. Maybe you'll be able to buy a guide.
Surely there will not be as much ice and snow in the forest as there would on the mountain.
The Remoras aren't under the ice under the mountain, too much rock.
Yes, I know there's no Remoras there. There's Remoras either way.
In the forest of frigid mist, there is snow, but it's the mist, per its namesake, that you're worried about. Twice every day, it sweeps. It sweeps up, it sweeps down. If you're caught in that ice, you're dead.
Right.
A lot of you, you're scrawny, you're dead.
Right.
She
okay.
might live.
Right. Oh, okay. But you said on the path we'd be fine.
On the path is raised.
I see.
It's one of the glories of our civilization. And he chops again, and it's like the prophets forged that path when they were waging war with the races below. South.
Okay.
How
Thank
the tides have turned. When you like maybe turn away, he's like, "Good luck. You'll need it."
Thank you.
Well, that hasn't really made things that much easier. I guess the mountain pass perhaps sounds a little better. Trolls, I don't know whether you've heard much about them, but I think they're pesky critters.
You can give me nature rolls about trolls if you want.
Everybody doing their nature rolls.
Melody's speciality.
Melody once ate a troll. It
Yeah,
lasted
probably.
her 4
It's
weeks.
likely, actually. So you're thinking about this, and Gil'win's like, I've heard stories of trolls. You actually know a lot of it. Why'd you give yourself disadvantage there?
I haven't lived on the surface most of my life, so it's one.
Okay, I'll allow it. Gil'win actually can think of a song where there's a famous song. It's not made by your dad because it's actually made by someone who goes on adventures about trolls and about how the trolls nearly killed him and his friends, but they defeated it by fire. They chopped off its arm and they burnt it with fire, and trolls regenerate. They regrow from injuries. That's why they're almost these almost mutant kin of giants. They just keep growing and mutating and changing over time. Now, it's Melody who can think, and is like, these would be snow trolls. Now, would that change anything about it? Well, it kind of changes the way that they act. Actually, you heard rumors, you and Raj heard rumors from fey creatures in this area, because the Forest of Frigid Mists is connected to your old forests. You're not in the place where the mists were, but, you know, word spreads through the trees. But snow trolls, they're building a community. Trolls are usually solitary creatures, for the most part. Occasionally, trolls will make friends with other trolls, but then they get pissed off and they go their separate ways. The snow trolls are making a little sort of town at the end of the Forest of Frigid Mists, and they don't like anyone, but... You know, the Fae seem to trust them, actually. The Fae seem to... There's rumors even of them that you're trying to remember, and Raj is like whispering, like, oh, Raj is also trying to remember that the trolls have druids. You also know that a snow troll, very similar to a yeti, if it was like laying down in snow, pretty fucking hard to see. Very, very hard to see.
Trolls
Melody.
have druids,
Yeah.
you say.
Melody would obviously relay it, but Melody would relay it in much simpler ways. Like
Yeah.
trolls have people like Melody, sort of thing for a druid.
And then you do a bit of druid craft and like...
Yeah.
Right.
Droid.
That shifts my vote to mountain. Yetis don't have spellcasters.
I was going to say I'd rather fight a scary, non-intelligent beast than a scary, intelligent beast.
Yes. I'd
I say
rather
the
fight
mountain.
Haven than Melody.
Nice.
He didn't even...
He's not even listening.
Heaven.
He's looking up at those clouds.
Oh, I was listening. It's just one of those things where you would regret it if you tried.
Ha.
Ooh.
I would. Gil has told me not to kill more people.
I said it out of game. Haven in game
know.
wouldn't say anything. He would just kill you when the time came.
Nice. That's my man. All right, so you're deciding on mountain?
Yeah.
Besides, wasn't it Vale who was asking Haven for the thrusting?
When did I ask for thrusting?
It's okay. Gil told me.
Ah, yes, that one.
Yes, of course. So, you gonna buy any stuff to prepare for going back up the mountain? It is winter.
I'd
course we
buy
are.
a nice fair coat for me and Haven.
No. You don't want a fur coat. You need winter gear and a fur coat. This is winter on a mountain.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
used to live in
why-
a sky city. It got pretty cold there. The magic kept it warmer, but
Okay.
Does my wolf pelt and large wolf pelt, because I have two, count as winter gear?
I'd say if you're wearing it, it does count as winter gear. Winter gear is one of those things where winter gear doesn't give you any sort of stat bonuses. Winter gear just lets you not die on the way to having your death rolls in the cold. You know, you're going to go for a period where I don't have to be like, okay, now you're making cold rolls. So, yeah, I would say for you, Melody, especially because you're a tougher person in general, that actually is fine for you. It's Haven and Gil'win that need winter gear. What's he looking for? What's he doing? What's he doing?
he's bonkers. I would like to.
And if you look through, actually, it'd be one of those things where you could probably find winter gear here in like this part of the city, and like go to a little like tailor that's doing that sort of thing.
I would like to find a fur poncho though for myself as well.
So I'll say that the winter clothes are 3 gold
Ollie,
each.
I'm seeing a reference to DMG 110. I just don't have.
With DMG?
I can't find my DMG at the moment. It says DMG 110. This is the reference. Winter clothes. It says whenever the temperatures is
Yeah,
at
there's
or
rules
below-
for cold temperature. But like the way
Yeah.
I run it is like, you know, you're not gonna have to do as many rolls for so long. Like if you went up the mountain without that, you would surely not get over, you know. Yeah, 110 has the rules for extreme cold.
Yeah. So if you have like cold weather gear, thick, it says thick coats, gloves, and the like.
Yeah, there's one of those things where
you're
it's like
fine.
it says, yeah, if you're wearing cold winter gear, you don't have to do rolls. You're going up a mountain in winter. You know, it's probably going to be too cold for that. But it's one of those things where, like, if you just went up the mountain, if you went up the mountain during the summertime, you were fine. It's a mountain, but it's not the tallest mountain. It's the most snowy mountain in the world. You know, it's that sort of thing. You know, the winter gear just allows you to go, and then when you're wearing winter gear, you still need to make rolls against extreme cold, like blizzards, traveling for extended periods in icy wastelands.
So you're not saying extreme cold, you're saying even worse than extreme cold.
Even worse than extreme cold, yeah.
Okay, so how do we, what would the cost be to get something to meet the level of extreme, and then we can deal with the over
You can't
the top.
get cloves that can deal with the level of extreme.
Yeah, I meant the one that
that's
equals...
3 gold for winter gear, I'm saying right now.
Perfect. That's for the normal extreme, not what we're going to be dealing with. Gotcha.
If the sort of way to like
more
deal
like-
with things further,
It's
like,
more
I feel
like the exposure.
it's the
than
exposure and the
yeah.
continued trudging through snow as well. Like
100% understands.
it's like there's a lot of magical solution. I think Neil, your Yeti fur armor, the slight bonus I gave to you was that you actually have advantage on these rolls, right? So you're set.
So where I grew up, if you got like wet because you trudged through some old water, it'd be awful because sometimes it's just cold. Sometimes there's just no warmth. Up here it's pretty warm, but I'm used to some cold that could linger for a long time. So I'd suggest everybody gets 2 outfits. Except for you, pointing to Vale, like literally pointing directly at Vale, like one of those uncomfortably pointing at. Except you, because, you know, that's a dead Yeti. Maybe one day we can have a dead Yeti too. But until then, we should probably wear a couple of outfits.
I like that sentence. I like maybe one day we can have a dead Yeti too. I don't know why. I just like it.
When he says that, Melody pulls out the second wolf pelt and puts it over the first.
Yeah, she's like...
Yeah.
You said 3 gold each, right? So I'm going to spend 6 to have 2 outfits of winter on top of my common clothes.
Yeah.
So...
It's one of those things where the
Same.
winter gear basically counts as traveling gear for the sake. It's just, you know, it's that extra level of you know, traveling gear is built to deal with like rain and the constant, you know, like.
Yeah,
this is
it's
bit
like
further.
a waxed cloth.
How about climbing gear?
That's the thing.
One
I was like, hey, you guys should probably get it, but I wasn't gonna say it. I was thinking about it.
I will.
Climbing kit. A climber's kit is 25 gold.
I have 45. I spend all of that because my character doesn't
I would
care
also
about money.
say that as you've been traveling back and forth through Little Dragonbrow, because you've walked back and forth, you have seen a little table by the side of the road where someone was selling potions, and they were selling healing potions and climbing potions.
I will point out, in terms of healing potions, during the downtime in Lichvale, Melody did make 5 healing potions. So we've got a few for... I mean, they are only basic.
I'm just pointing out, like, as he goes to buy a climber's kit, you would be like, oh, I saw climbing potions, you know? And you know they're a thing. They're like one of those things where it's like, as a common person knows healing potions exist, a common person knows climbing potions exist. What they do exactly is a whole other thing.
Ollie, I will gladly grab a second length of rope. A typical climber's kit, does that come with hemp or silk rope?
I'm going to assume hemp. So
Okay,
I saw it in the chat of another D&D game, but it's like, you use, you know, the only people using silk rope are kinky elves.
Yeah, my character's used to silk rope because he's used to the Underdark. So, assuming it's available, I'll gladly spend the extra 19 gold to make sure that original set is silk, and that I have a second.
I would say
length of
just
silk
for your,
rope.
but your, yeah, you can have silk rope for the first set that you already had. But you can, if you want to go and buy silk rope, yeah, for sure, you can do that hit.
So 10 more. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have 10 gold left. I have 2 lengths of silk rope because that's important to me because I'm a kinky elf.
Can I
Tie me
get...
up, baby.
How much would 30 rations cost?
Ooh, 15 gold, I think.
Dean.
Yes.
Not Dean. Neil.
Okay.
When engaged in travel, such as
You don't get affected
foraging,
by difficult terrain.
you
which is
remain
amazing.
alert, not affected by difficult terrain. Also,
You find twice as much food when you forage.
exactly. So you're welcome to get rations.
And I'll
for
say that
extreme
you know,
situations,
just because
but-
the way, funny enough, the game I'm doing on Mondays off stream includes a lot of foraging. So I've really bashed out the foraging rules I use. You know that you can easily find food for usually 1 or 2 people a night when you forage.
But this is on a mountain,
4
so I'm
people
playing it safe.
on a mountain is harder. 4 people
yep,
is harder, but
So buying rations is a good idea. I'm good at finding rations. I can also find food inside caves if we come through them. On top of that, Melody can go, hey, I have berries. But
Except I don't have good berry. Well, I'd be able to. It's a prepared.
you could
stone,
prepare
Yeah,
good
you
berry,
could.
right?
Yeah.
Which you probably
But
should.
having rations is still a good idea because
Yeah.
I can do it twofold and Melody can do the fuck you, Scott. I
The
can do even better
advantage
than you.
of rations, right, is that like if you go and forage, it happened on the Monday game. If you go and forage, that's your food for the night, unless you have like a whole day and like, okay, I'm gonna salt this meat or whatever, right? Rations. Here you just get like a whole bunch of pemmican type stuff and like oat and grain compressed into a bar.
yeah.
Like that's gonna last for a long time. It will be wrapped in a little wax sealed thing. Like that will last. You just put it in the bottom of a bag. So you're really sad that you don't have like Amelia's pocket of holding because
Yeah.
you have to you have a bag of rations now.
Well, I'm gonna give 5 rations to Haven.
They would
5
give you a
to
bag.
Gil.
They would give you like a backpack of them.
Yeah, but it's more a matter of
I know. I'm just saying.
Vale can't actually carry that many rations with everything else he's carrying.
Yes.
That was perfect.
How was that perfect timing?
Because as you
So-
pointed, a fucking a demonic dog barked.
That's bratwurst.
Proud's not
Demonic.
So
Scott, you've got 5 extra rations. Dino, you've got 5 extra rations.
Thank you very much.
And I
Bear
am
in
prepping
mind-
my spells for an icy mountain.
You'd be using survival rolls more often, Scott, if you're doing like nature rolls to test right now.
I'm doing nature rolls because I, as a PC, have lots of ideas that my character might not have because he's fucking stupid. So
Maybe
again,
he'll
a
get them in the
troll-
moment.
The average troll is smarter than Haven. So I have like, oh, we need to avoid this, and this, but Haven might not think of that with his background.
Yes,
So I'm trying to not be metagamey.
that's fine.
One more item.
No, like at this point we have 10 minutes left of the session. Prepare
Yep.
for the mountain.
Yeah, I got you. That's why I'm trying to come up with ideas. Fuck! I can't break 10! I can't break 10 for like, I'm trying to come up with ideas. Hey, listen, Melody, this is all you. I don't know shit about shit when it comes to like, life.
You could be in a mountain. You can't be out
I
of a
just came
mountain.
up with 3 important, relatively mundane things that we can solve mundanely or magically. I can't solve them magically, and I couldn't think of solving them mundanely. So it's up to you, lady. Be a hero.
I don't. You're. But the problem is that I'm not good, like thinking outside the box at stuff like this.
Yeah.
Sure. Things like dealing with frostbite when we come across it. Things like how do we
Writhing.
call out or signal each other without causing an avalanche? Things like this. Like, these
Not
are super
throwing
important
a
details.
signal stone at someone.
So yeah. Shh. So he had a very low wisdom.
I
So so like things like signal whistles are wonderful. Haven's too dumb to think of it, or magnifying glasses
You say
from light
that, but
flashes.
Melody wouldn't think of that either because Melody is used to being with a fey spirit in a forest.
Yep.
She
So-
wouldn't think of that either.
The nature people wouldn't think of these things. I would say Western nature. Sucks
You're not
to
mountain
you guys.
people. You're not mountain people. Melody's the
I
closest
am?
to a mountain person because she was in like a mountainside
I-
forest,
I-
but that's
I-
not the
I
same.
think,
I'm
I
close to a
think
mountain
it's
person because I
fair to
lived in
say-
the ground.
It's fair to say Haven is not a mountain person. Melody is not a mountain person.
There we go. That's the. It's all about emphasis.
I don't see Gil'win trying to,
I mean,
or even being able to think of every
You're just like
facet of going up a
mountain.
mountain.
It's gonna be hard, but we're gonna climb it.
It's going to
At
be
least-
cold.
at
I bought
least-
clothes. I'm good.
At least we just conveniently got given a staff that can produce flame.
Yes. We should make sure we have a little pot. No, I've not been spending too much time with the halflings. I mean, finding fresh running water up there will be difficult.
Right. Yeah. Good idea.
So,
Is that another spell I need to prepare?
no, we just need to be able to melt snow in the container.
Oh, I can do that, yeah.
So, Gil, I think you should carry a pot.
Okay.
Iron pot is 2 gold.
Iron pot
Jesus,
is
that's
2
expensive.
gold.
If you want a cheaper pot, I could say you could get a cheaper pot for like 2 silver, but Dean goes into like the hunting store and sees it. Like he sees the cheaper ones afterwards, so he's like, "But no, I saw that." It's like when you go out to get some food and like you see the KFC first, and like you go and like, "Oh, maybe we should have some. Maybe we should go somewhere else." But like, I saw the KFC though, and now I want it.
Let's just... We'll see.
You exactly, Mr. Dean Cuddy.
We should get a couple of tents
Okay.
in case we can't find a cave.
2 goldings.
Tense.
They're like cloth caves, but small caves. Protect you
Okay.
from the wind and the snow a little bit. Perhaps you and Melody could carry one. Me and Gil are not the strongest.
Gotcha. Are these for how long do you stay in these things?
Overnight, like a cave, you stay in it to sleep.
These are in case we can't find a proper cave.
Gotcha. And how are we going to deal with avalanche?
How can you deal with an avalanche?
Yes, not sure on that one. Never.
I have an idea, but we have to stay close together. You know what an avalanche is.
We're aware of
Some of
what
these people
avalanches.
may have had a little first-hand experience.
If we travel and actually, Haven will be a little more handsy than usual and kind of like push people or gesture for people to go like a certain distance, but still relatively close to one another. If we travel about this far apart, I'm sure with a little practice, we could very easily take advantage of certain things. If there's an avalanche, it usually takes some time to come to where it is that it's going. To be careful. If there's an avalanche, I'll actually pull like a small length of rope out and just as casting a spell, throw it up into the sky. And then a rope just starts like hanging from the sky. Just as he throws it up, it just hangs in the sky. And he grabs onto the rope and very quickly in like 2 or 3 pulls himself up to the top of where the rope is hanging and out of sight entirely. Just disappears.
Whoa. Haven?
He tugs on the rope.
I wonder how long that lasts.
I can't hear you because I'm not there.
From my experience, these don't last more than, I don't know, a couple of hours at most.
Right, so it wouldn't be good enough as a tent.
No. It'd be good to hide until an avalanche fades, I suppose.
Is he coming back out?
The rope is just hanging there, and at this point, like other Dragonborn are like, "What's going on with rope in here? Is there like a jester coming through? What's going on?" Like, it doesn't cause like a lot of alarm because something that Gil'win is aware of is that there's been Dragonborn refugees, there's been magical refugees, so like casual magic is not that scary. But I mean, they're only seeing half of it.
Yeah.
You gotta bear in mind that in Jarviskjir is not a low magic world, but it's like most people are a low magic. Like,
Yeah.
a rope hanging itself in the air. That's not unbelievable.
Hmm.
So when Haven comes out, they're gonna shit themselves.
Do we go in after him? Do we wait?
You're the one who knows magic. Do
I don't think I can climb a rope.
I'm
Good
not sure I
melody
want
time.
It might be dangerous, Melody.
Well, Haven went up.
I suppose I could shoot an arrow in.
I'm going to grab my water skin and just toss it up past where the
It's
rope
one of
is.
those where it goes like. And actually, I imagine, especially the way Haven's magic works, there's almost like a water droplet effect in the sky for a split second. You're muted. I can't hear your words from your mouth hole.
No attacks pass through, so you either climb in or you don't.
Oh, so it
Yeah.
hits the floor.
Ah,
At that, Melody would climb it and just almost like knock at the end of it, like seeing if she can put her hand through.
Yeah, it would disappear, your hand, as you sort of reach the end of the rope, I guess.
Then just goes up and
Because it
pokes her head.
wouldn't disappear to your perspective. It would disappear to
Yeah.
their perspective.
Then just comes up and pokes her head in.
Oh, hey there, Melody.
So what
Others-
what is up at the top of there, Mr. Scott?
Nothing.
It's an extra
Said
dimensional
Haven.
space.
It's just nothing.
It's like a little room.
It's just like when they enter the Matrix, but before they actually
Yeah.
like finish arming
there's a
themselves.
ground,
you
isn't
get-
there, or
Just
are
the
you
white
floating?
room. It's just the white room of the Matrix. Just
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, there's ground. You're standing.
well, white is something. isn't it?
On nothing.
Yeah, but you're standing.
Yeah. There's gravity
There's ground.
and there's limitations, but there's nothing.
Yeah, cool.
Gil and Vale are waiting for you.
You guys down below see like Melody's legs.
Oh,
Because
they
she's
don't
just
wanna,
popped her head through.
They don't want to come check it out.
Gil, not good at climbing.
Huh. That doesn't surprise me. It's like no upper body strength whatsoever.
You can't hear this.
No, I'm laughing at Ian's nod.
You're muted again.
So this is good for avalanches, right? Sorry, my daughter's being loud because she just got home.
Yes, can hide in here.
What happens?
All right,
if
I was just kind of making sure that we all knew that this was an option. All right, well, I guess go back out because maybe Gil's scared or something.
What happens if it stops working while she's through there? Do you think she gets
She
chopped in?
Melody shimmies back down.
Oh, hey, Melody.
Hello.
Either the rope disappears and they fall, or the rope comes with them as they fall. Either way, they're going to fall.
Alright. And with that, we're actually gonna end today as you ponder the rope trick.
Nice.
Goodbye,
Nice.
Dean, I guess.
Bye, Dean.
Who even wanted him? Alright.
What?
Actually, that's
He's
not
doing
what I
that thing
want.
again.
This is. Where's the thing I want? Come back.
Dean.
No, it's not that thing. He
No, Dean, it's actually ended the call this time.
he actually
Dean.
gone.
Oh, no, he's there,
Dean.
isn't he?
It's
Now
come back
he
now.
there.
He's
He
coming
come back.
He's coming back.
All right.
Well, I'm getting a loading
Loading.
screen.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
loaded.
well, you know what? Why don't we say our goodbyes now? We'll start the circle of shame.
Oh,
Hey,
Whether or
hey!
not Mr. Dean Cutty chooses to rejoin the class. Mr. Neil, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Neil.
feeling good.
I play Vale, the Sun Elf, in this game, and the big boy Gladys Yaxblood in the Monday game,
If
who's
you
a lovely
are-
giant's blood friend.
Checking my Twitter and also on the Discord, every week I post a little comic thing of my Monday game so you can see what his character does. Usually unless he's doing something dramatic, he's not always mentioned. But that thing about the game that both Neil and Ian are on Mondays is available 1 week earlier on Patreon for $1 a month. So if you want to find out more about that game, and if something really important's happening, I do talk about it in the text as well. Like I do a little write-up. You should get just $1 a month, and you get to hear about more Jarviskjir. If you want to know more, Good way to do it.
Plus all the other $1 benefits.
Yeah, there's like at least 2.
And you can find me on Twitter at Naghai_ because someone took it from me. Traitor.
And one day we will have it returned to us.
I am Nerd, who play D&D with Ollie and these guys and Ian more than I should.
Well, me specifically more than you should.
And that's me.
Below Neil, in many ways, is Dean Cuddy. Dean Cuddy, how are you doing? Who are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. I don't know why I got kicked from the call, but I did.
Well, I didn't
But
do
I'm
it.
back.
Ollie did it.
I did.
Look.
No.
It's the man who's stroking me right now in suggestive places, I think.
Oh,
He couldn't handle 2 Deans. I'm good. I don't think I have anything coming out soon. I don't think we're doing a Juz Mathis this week. So I guess next week we'll have one on Blood Omen 2, which is like the most controversial of the Soul Reaver series, I think, or the Legacy of Kain series. But yeah, I'm good. Dean Cutty, anyway.
awesome. After this is Arvine. How?
Just how? Is that
Mhm.
it? Okay. I'm Ian, Arvine, whatever you want to call me. Got a new computer, so you'll see less tweets complaining about how my computer's gradually breaking.
Yeah,
But
we actually had to do some slight check that everything was okay on Monday for this game.
Yeah, and and that highlighted a couple of things. But yeah, other things on my Twitter, lots of weeb shit and D&D shit. Here's a hint. If you subscribe to Ollie's Patreon, the most recent week that you get is a lovely picture of my Monday character.
Yes, it's Monday character. It's her Monday character. Her. Ian plays girls.
Yep.
It just confuses because I'm one of those people where I actually more often than not see the character instead of the person. So Ian is a she in my mind most of the time, and you know
Yeah.
what? That's okay.
I don't mind that.
Also,
Whatever.
Scott, do you want to know why you're always last? Have you ever seen a
Don't care.
clock?
No. No. I don't do clocks.
Dean, no. Yeah, they
The
have like a
digital-
line, and yeah.
Here, I'll show you a clock right now. It's it looks like that. Where it's like-
all right. How are you? Who are you? Who do you think you are? He's Delric. You can find him at Delric in all the places. Twitch Delric, Skype Delric, Twitter Delric.
Sometimes I wonder, Scott just sits there trying to trigger Ollie.
I'm okay
like-
with it because it's just
The only
they're
thing that you need to know about me is that there's a new FFG Star Wars with an amazing cast going live tonight for the first session at twitch.tv/Lost Initiative Show. That is a mouthful, but you can just Google it or Google me and find it. And that's going 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The artwork is slowly rolling in. So we have 2 characters of artwork posted over on Twitter. I'm hoping to get the 3rd one before we go live. I have a feeling I'm not going to be the 3rd one. I'm usually last because nobody loves me. And that's that.
True.
Zero Dox is in it, and she's great.
I already drew your character, Scott. You're good. Big old
Yeah.
eyebrows.
2 or 1, because it takes
I gave
effort
you
in real
one.
life to have. Yeah, see, real life, it takes about a minute every day, 7 days a week, to have 2 eyebrows.
That does not.
Because let's be serious. Come on.
That
we can-
explains things.
right? I used to have 1 eyebrow, and then this girl that I used to help her out. She was an old employee of mine. I helped her out with financial stuff. She was like, "I'm a hairdresser as well. Let me hook you up." And she this is what 2 eyebrows feels like. And I was like, "Whoa, it's different." And she was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah." And so now I have 2
You
eyebrows.
look less like
For
a
less
troll.
than 10 years, I've had 2 eyebrows.
Oh man, that's
I cannot handle
that
this
is
story.
not surprising. Yes.
And now I'm married, so it worked. Hey, 2
did work.
eyebrows. The ladies love it.
You can also find many of his other RPG shows, such as on Wednesday mornings before this show, he does a Mass Effect show where I am sometimes on it when I am not being made to babysit my niece and nephew, which I absolutely love, and they are not infuriating at all. And then on Fridays we do an Eberron game. If you don't know what Eberron is, it's like it's like D&D but fucked. And then it's me, Ollie, the one you've been waiting for, your Lord and Master, your Grand Goose. I'm Ollie. You can find me here. I'm kind of going through some changes. I need Daddy Derek to explain them to me. But I'm basically trying to work out some stuff on the channel, so we're gonna have this here always on the week, unless something goes horribly wrong because someone's for some reason we can't do it. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays and Sundays, there are chill streams of some variety where I play a game and sometimes I just chat with you in chat about whatever. We talked about cannibalism last week, and I only remember the cannibalism, but other stuff. A little bit about love, a little bit about life, and everything in between. And I might play Far Cry 5. Because it looks fun.
Good.
And I didn't play Far Cry 4, but I played Far Cry 3. So I have it.
Good.
I'm going to be playing it on my PS4 over here, because sometimes my computer cries a little bit with the stuff I make it do. That sounded weirder than I intended. And as always, you can always get stuff on the Patreon. For example, at the $20 Patreon, you could give these guys a gift. You could go, hey, these guys are going to die up on the mountain. Give them like a ton of potions of climbing and like some more winter gear, maybe more Yeti gear. You could do that for $20 a month, and for $40 a month, you can make an NPC of your choice who has allegiances to people or hates them as people, and that is on a seasonal basis. So as this season goes, you could do that sort of thing, and I recommend you do because I like to get you, the glorious peasants, involved in our D&D gaming.
Give me more good swords, please.
Yeah, you could give Neil a sword.
Kind people.
And that's that. I hope we should be back on next week, and the next place you can find me will be here on Friday, probably playing Far Cry if I can get everything to work intended. And then after that, we're done. All right. Everyone,
Right, let's all strike the pose, guys.
Yeah. Oh! Nice! I gotta press
Ollie
the button.
dude. Ollie dude. You gotta push the button.
Ah!